Hi, this is Chuck Bortel from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I'm a health insurance agent, and this is the sixth edition of a series of 6 videos in which we've been discussing the implementation of Obamacare at this juncture. As we've said before, this is not a political discussion. This is now getting down to, well, how are the new events and how are the new arrangements to be affected. Now, first of all, we talk a lot about the year 2014, and that seems like it's a long way away. However, that's less than 15 months where things need to be operational. So it would be with the stage of this development of these new systems to deliver health insurance. I mean, if you made it like an analogy to the Olympics, it's like, well, maybe you'd start playing the Olympics the year before you that you actually had to host it. I mean, the point is that the events are way behind the timeline of what they should be for the massive amount of change that has to occur. So, but maybe that will receive some sort of a dispensation. Maybe there'll be some sort of an extension. Who knows? But the biggest issues are that basically, as we've discussed in these videos, that there is no incentive really for the private insurance carriers to carry forward, at least in the small group market and the individual market. The constraints on them as far as the constraints on pricing in comparison to the mandates, in comparison to the ideas that have been promulgated at least as far as the high-risk pool goes on what might be adequate pricing, these things are all just in never land as far as someone who's a professional. So at this juncture, it appears that many things have been left under wraps until after the election on November 6th. So we'll take up this series of videos again then, right after November 6th, because at that point there will be, regardless of who wins, there will be some indications and some of which directions and what kind of focus will be generated, because things will have to start happening then, because the calendar is closing out very quickly as we lead up to having to do things in preparation so that they will be up and running in 2014. So thank you very much for your attention to this. If you have any questions or you have disagreements with these forecasts or these comments, please come to me directly. You can reach me at Chuck Bortel in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, area code 954-491-3422, or through my email address, which is surfrider@prodigy.net. One word, surfrider@prodigy.net. So if anything you disagree with or any evidence you find that would be contrary, I'm certainly trying to seek that. Unfortunately, most of the time when you search for evidence, all we're getting is the same warmed over tripe that has been presented during the last couple of years, but just reworked. There's very little content available. Maybe that'll change after November 6th, but we'll see. So anyway, at this point, I do have one more surprise for you. I have one wild prediction, and quite frankly, I think it may happen. In short, you know, there was a lot of controversy and rancor over whether there would be a public option when we were talking about the Obamacare legislation. And so the Obamacare legislation dropped the public option for various reasons. But at this juncture, quite frankly, the public option will probably be resurrected, at least for individuals in small groups, because I'm not sure there's an incentive for any of the insurance carriers to step into the market to try to do business under those rules. The federal government won't be able to do it either, but they have the unlimited treasury, and they have other people's money that they can spend. So that's the one political comment I have, is that basically the economics don't make sense. So if the economics don't make sense, well, then the best place where it'll probably have to reside is to the government. But anyway, thank you again for your attention. Start looking for new additions. We're trying to develop a information clearinghouse here. We wish to have as many facts as possible, or all facts if possible, and or at least well thought out and reasonably supported conjecture. So thank you again, and we'll look forward to talking to you from Fort Lauderdale. Fair winds and following seas.